What's going on YouTube? Kronos here, and welcome back to the PSO2 video. So today's video, nothing too fancy. We're going to go over some of the articles that have popped up over on the PSO2 website. Just want to do a quick little thing. Don't need this usually, but if you guys are new to the channel, it'd be awesome if you would subscribe. Keep up with all the content that's coming around. It is going to help out a ton moving forward. We will be covering content going all the way up until the release of NGS and forward. So if that's kind of your thing, you want to keep up with the news, what's going on, and of course my opinions and predictions, because apparently I do get a good chunk of them right, it looks like. You make sure to go ahead and as they say, smash that like sub button. I don't know, dude, just press the button, it's free. Anyway, let's go into this. So over on the PS2 Global, or the PS2 website itself, you guys are don't really know where to find this news. I mean, granted, it's literally on ps2.com. Apparently some people aren't sure of where to look for this sort of stuff, apparently, but yeah, directly on the base website, really easy to find. But let's jump into what we have so far. So first thing we've got is a new AC Scratch. The AC Scratch tickets, Arcs Elite. These are basically PS2 ES characters. Now, if you aren't familiar with PS2 ES, it's because it's not currently available in global. It is a JP only thing. It is a mobile game that connects to PSO2. We've got some heroes from PSO2 ES that have different outfits that they're showing off here. Unfortunately, they're still calling Jean's outfit Stella. I don't understand it, but hey, you know what? So on, I can't really do too much about it, right? Either Cool Kids hoodie. This is actually a pretty cool outfit. I do like this quite a bit. Sacred fish, or scared fish, or scarred fish. I don't know what. Yeah, this whatever. This doesn't look like a fish, so whatever it happens to be. Linsuit, cool stuff here. I mean, just they're typical stuff, typical outfits. Cool things here. We got the male apron. That's pretty dope. I know people of course like that sort of stuff here. Some pretty decent cast parts. I think these cast parts are in like the mission badge, or not the mission badge, the mission scratch, or the mission pass, something along those lines. Either way, I think these are already available at the moment, so I mean, it might be a repeat, but either way, still not a huge deal. Just another way of getting a hold of them. If you didn't get them from one avenue, you can get them from this one. So super cool there. They name it right here, so they're called Jean's pigtails here, which I don't know why they insist on calling the Stella's outfit. I'm pretty sure, almost 100% positive, that's Jean's outfit, and so is that one. Stella's from Idola, or Idola, depending on how you pronounce it, if I remember correctly. But maybe maybe there's something about the story I just don't understand, and they call it Stella for some reason. Who knows? I'm sure someone can correct me in the comments below. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff here. Pretty decent outfits. I'm a fan of the Bruno hair itself, so be picking that up. Looks pretty dope. Of course, we're picking all this stuff up going towards NGS, because in case we want some of these hairstyles. Hairstyles are pretty cool, right? So pretty cool stuff here. Red set accessories, some clear shield stuff, some decent camos, nothing too crazy going on there. The body pillow emote, of course, we're going to be going after that. I mean, what? Anyway, PR pose, some pretty cool stuff here overall. And then they've got some AC scratches. These are bonuses. Again, this is Jean, not Stella, but and then Jean's body pillow apparently is a camo. Okay, is it a bonus prize? Are we scratching? I think we might be. Yep, I guess we're whaling, because we need that body pillow, of course. I mean, what? I didn't say that. Anyway, moving on. We've got some pretty cool stuff here. Let's see what the it looks like. Is it an Oriental pack? Chinese theme G. Okay, scenery pass, underground shafts. Nothing too crazy there. Actually spelled oddly, underground shafts, but whatever. Nothing too crazy going on there. Looks like blown away, and then pose 16. Not sure what pose 16 is. We'll have to figure out what that is when we log into the servers when they pop back up. To everyone's unfortunate, it's a bit of a downside, it's a bit of a bummer, but we did not get the SG scratch. We got the AC scratch. I really hope that Sega went ahead and released the SG scratch, but unfortunately all they brought us was the AC scratch. Granted, this is still helpful for people who don't have their grand mites or grand precisions taken care of. That will bring the price of those down for making your god units and things like that, but that other scratch would have been a lot more helpful overall, and hopefully they take that as a bit of feedback. That I know a lot of players really were looking for that SG scratch, and a lot of players actually prepared quite a bit of SG hoping that we get it, because it was kind of like the perfect storm of a situation for it. Honestly, JP needs this AC support scratch more than we do, and I believe they got an SG scratch and we got an AC scratch, so I feel like a little bit backwards there. Kind of a missed opportunity, but that's what we offer feedback. Let them know how we feel about it, of course, in the proper manner, guys. Spamming people consistently does not elicit proper responses in these cases. Either way, moving forward, we have the Oracle Fleet Extravaganza. I'm pretty sure we all knew we were getting the Easter lobby itself beginning on the 31st. So we got the Easter lobby. We have the Cherry Blossom Cafe, which is super cute, as well as Easter Rappies. So Easter Soul and Egg Fever will be showing up, and we've got a bunch of these featured rewards that'll be popping up in quests. So nothing too crazy there, nothing too insane. Calamity Series weapons, I mean, these really matter very much for anything. I'm trying to think of any reason you would care too much about them other than like the cosmetic stuff, the camos and things like that, but I don't think there really is anything that you could really use them for. Wild Easter is here, which Wild Easter basically just means an ability to get some camos, as well as where is it? Basically the episode 4 souls, like Full Vegas Soul, Eastern Soul, S-Card Soul, and Yamato Factor is a big one if you're like making your god units by hand all the way through. Yamato Factor being brought down in price is going to be super huge for those players, so I'm sure those prices are already starting to fall. But some of these camos are pretty dope actually moving forward towards NGS. I mean, these are weapons here, but like we've got the Supreme Spirit. Let's see, this one's Wired Lance, Twin Daggers, Knuckles, and Soaring Blades. I'll see what that looks like because I actually haven't seen that for Soaring Blades. That kind of seems kind of dope. We have the Assault Rifle. We have these TMGs, Double Saber, and Soaring Blades. Again, I want to see what that looks like. And Twin Guns, Sword, Knuckles, and Assault Rifle. So yeah, some of these are pretty dope actually as far as camos go. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I'm missing here from this list that's actually that important? Not really, no. I mean, if you're someone who wanted to make the Reaper weapons, you have access to those dropping here as well. So you wanted to make a really cool style weapon for that, that's dope. It looks like the Double Saber Legacy is coming back. Or actually, this is, no, I'm thinking of the Twin Kriya Sabers. The Double Saber Legacy is coming out along with Soul Banish if you were looking for a Scythe camo, a different style Scythe camo. There's another one. Yeah, just a couple weapons here. I'm not sure why Meteor Staff is here. To be honest, it's not really that important. The Flow Glowen Sword, and not that important. I think this might have a decent SAF. I don't remember exactly what it is. Yeah, like I guess not that important. But it does look like they're also dropping steel weapons, so that's kind of cool. I guess if you're looking to get alt weapons, you want to kind of set them up, or if you need a weapon to hold onto an S5 for setting up a Colossus weapon later on, these steel weapons can actually do that for you pretty easily. They also have a camo for steel, which is actually kind of dope. Some of these weapons actually look cool. If you're a fan of the rod, the refrigerator rod, as I hear a lot of people tending to call it, it's a pretty dope rod. It's kind of crazy looking, kind of huge. But we got the Nemesis camo, we have the Raven camo, as well as the steel weapon camo. So that's pretty dope. You're a fan of those weapons. Also Atlas, Ares, and Invade. Invade looks really, really cool, so I'm a fan of those. I'm a fan of that one itself. I'm not sure if we're also going to get it, but JP, so essentially JP does have the sealed J sword, as they call it, or sealed Nodachi here. Super cool. I think it's like when you kill, or when you I want to say kill like 2,300 maybe. I don't remember how many enemies it is. Maybe 21,000. But you kill a certain number of enemies and you actually get this as a camo, which is pretty dope, and it's an unsealed version of it. So I'm not sure if we'll have that available because sealed J sword's here, or sealed Nodachi as it's called here, but that's super cool. This double saber looks super sick, and I'm a huge fan of World of Guardians, or this weapon itself in general. This is kind of a throwback to PSU, PSPI, and earlier games. Super chill looking weapon. I'm super happy to see that here. It's a cool looking wand. I mean, it's a decent looking wand, but yeah, teaches their own. The Obsidian Darkness, dope looking TMGs. Can't wait to see those. But these are just weapons that you'll use to probably skin over other weapons. The potential in World of Guardians, though, kind of cool, and it's fairly strong overall, isn't going to do something. It's not going to beat out Claws, so it's just another weapon, kind of a decent, I want to call it side grade, like a mid underneath side grade. It's a decent weapon, but it's just nothing you're really going to use if you've already made your weapons itself. So just something I'm going to use for transmog purposes. That's about it. Leg unit, because of course leg unit stuff can drop. This looks like Rainbow Road, which this is the actual the S8 I was talking about. Or if you guys have watched the streams, you guys have probably heard me talk about a few times when it happens for, or when it comes to lusters, since lusters don't really need what's it called, when I'm thinking of S8 that gives a shift in D-band, Skydance, Skyboom, whatever you want to call it. Since they don't really need it realistically, you can actually go for Rainbow Road. With Rainbow Road, essentially what happens is when you have any of these active, you inflict a random status ailment. Now, there's a proc chance to inflict a status ailment. However, because Lester has the D-band decay or D-band something or other, basically when they have D-band up, they have more of a chance to inflict status ailments. These kind of go well together, which, you know, tends to cause some really, really fun and really cool stuff. So super cool. Let me think, what else are we missing? Escalating Expanse. This is actually fairly useful for AoE situations. So pretty cool S6 to have. It's an alternative S6 as opposed to just using crit consistently. And I believe it's kind of like a must-have for people that were pushing not Divide, what am I thinking? It's Endless. If people are pushing really, really high Endless, Escalating Expanse is really nice to have. They're also adding a lot of these drops directly into Final Lament and Goddess of Annihilation. Or wait, is it Final Event and Goddess of Annihilation. So all these drops are in there. They're adding the Megalith Rod and Megalith Partisan. So those are pretty dope. Along with this Granial Stone or Grania Stone. So basically you can get lucky and make another crass weapon. So hopefully that happens for you, but we'll have to see. They're also upping Remnants of the Parallel World up to from 10 to 50. You can fight Masquerade 50 times if you're someone who's crazy and really wants to fight Masquerade that much. Just worth noting that after, I think, is it after 200 or 300? Might be after floor 200 or 300. I can't remember which one it is. Every 10 floors, you get like 30 SG. So it's actually pretty worth it depending upon if you need to farm the SG itself. But you do have to fight Masquerade and you do have to progress in floors to get that SG because it is only a first time clear. So yeah, kind of crazy. If you've already progressed, you have the SG already, so nothing too crazy there. But if you haven't, you can use this as a chance to farm some more SG if you happen to need it. But we didn't get the SG scratched. You mean maybe you don't need it? We'll have to see. But they did add Skydance into his drop table, so if you were someone who did not get Skydance before, then there you go. You have a chance of getting Skydance now. So super cool. I'm not sure if I think this is this the capsule? I think it might be the capsule, which means this capsule was probably going to go down in price. So either way, something that can be useful for you there. But that about covers it for everything we have to see here. It's kind of funny it didn't get mentioned here. Actually, through the power of editing, we can bring ourselves here. I actually had to go find Fred's Twitter for this, but we have a content update. Essentially, all these things are getting updated. So there isn't an article for it quite yet, which is a bit strange. I guess technically we do mention in the previous article that Divide stages 31 through 35 are getting updated, but it doesn't talk much about anything else, really. I slightly retract my statement. We do technically mention the Divide quest there, and it does mention Parallel World, but it doesn't mention Drawn to Darkness or Cradle of Darkness, which is interesting. These are getting upgraded to Ultra Hard, so 85 and up is required for them, meaning the enemies are, I believe, 91 possibly. So pretty solid for leveling if you need to. So that and the drops are gonna be pretty dope from there as well. But the funny thing is they actually aren't mentioning what the drops from these are. We don't know. There's usually an article that goes along with this, but the article hasn't gone live for it just yet. Maybe it's a little late. Maybe it's gonna come out a little bit later on. But I'm not 100% sure. So stay tuned for that one. We'll have to see how things are going through that. But there was one other thing I did want to mention. So we're gonna pop back over. I did kind of gloss over this, but this is essentially the mop-up op or the mop-up event that we'll be getting for our anniversary. Basically, it's the 20th anniversary celebration that JP got, but we're getting it during the 1-year anniversary celebration on our end. For PSO2, I mean, granted, it's past 1 year, honestly, but I mean, I'm not sure which release they're going off of. If you played back like during the first beta, you played back in February, so you're past a year back then. But again, tomato, doesn't really matter too much. So I did kind of gloss over these, but this is basically like Ash's weapon and Kirik's weapon. And they do still have the NPC here who had some other stuff. So here's the things that are a little bit weird, right? So they mentioned some feature rewards. They mentioned some of these things here. But what they don't mention is on JP, this NPC had a bunch of different things that we could get from her. It was their 2021 badges, and they had tons of different things that came from that NPC itself. I'm not sure if just Global is not going to have anything to get from that NPC, if it's going to be very limited, what you're going to be able to purchase from. I mean, like when I say a lot of things you get from this NPC, I mean, it had like, granted, Raising Pursuit isn't that big of a deal for us, but for JP, that had Raising Pursuit. It had another stone, like another cross stone. It had a bunch of things in here, like a ton of costumes, a ton of emotes. Like it was a lot, like a whole lot of things. I'm not sure if it's going to be anything even close to that. I'm not sure if this is even going to have anything in it. Nor I would imagine they would, put it in the actual article itself. But considering we have, 2 announcements that aren't in any articles, I'm not sure if it just kind of fell through the cracks or what they're going to be doing here. I mean, they do mention the Cradle of Darkness dropping these camos and Drawn to Darkness dropping these camos, but that's about it. I mean, Divine Will looks like it's going to be dropping, Axiom Will, which is decent enough, but I guess that might be all of those are dropping. It really seems like it's kind of low. Not really mentioning too much about this sort of stuff, so we'll have to see once we get our hands on it. It is, again, very, very limited. I did kind of gloss over it, so I want to go back and talk about it a little bit. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the update itself? What sort of tinfoil hat theories are you going to come up with? Because it looks like I was right for a good chunk of it. Unfortunately, no Solo Sodom, no SG Scratch, which that one really does suck, but that's all right. I know a lot of people who were really looking forward to being able to scratch on that, who had plans for what they needed from that scratch itself. However, we all had contingency plans in case it didn't work out. At least I know I did, and I have those moving into action right now, so I'm not too concerned about that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I do have a stream very early tomorrow. We'll be up at right when the server's supposed to go live. I'm sure they're going to get delayed. They always do, but we'll be here to hang out and hope for the best. As always, guys, a like on the video is much appreciated, and absolve you of half your ad block. Get the half as always subscribing. Both are completely free and they do help me out a ton. Remember, if you guys have any questions or any tinfoil hat theories of your own for the next update, feel free to toss them in the comments below. We'll go over that stuff. I love to read your comments. You guys know I do. I get to them eventually, may not get to them on the same day, but I do the best I possibly can. Make sure if you want to keep up with the content as it goes live to click on that bell icon to be notified of videos when they do go up, as well as community posts, or join us over on Discord or follow me over on Twitter to be notified of basically anything via those 2 avenues. Thanks for watching all the way to the end, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace out.